What actually happens in your organization after the alert fires, the outage starts, or ransomware hits. In this module, you'll turn that chaos into a structured response and recovery playbook, aligned to NIST CSF 2.0 that you can confidently execute and continually improve. In NIST CSF, respond and recover are related, but solve different problems. Respond is your emergency mode. You're containing, mitigating, and stopping the bleeding. Actions are urgent and reactive, blocking traffic, isolating hosts, executing playbooks to limit impact right now. Recover kicks in once the fire is under control. It's strategic and deliberate, restoring services, rebuilding systems safely, validating data, and strengthening resilience so the next incident hurts less. The respond function activates once a cybersecurity incident is confirmed. Think of it as the architecture of containment. Incident management provides overall coordination and command, so everyone knows who's in charge and what the plan is. In parallel, incident analysis handles forensics and investigation to understand scope, impact, and root cause. Incident mitigation focuses on technical containment and eradication. And reporting and communication keep internal and external stakeholders informed with accurate, timely updates. Before an incident ever happens, you need 3 things nailed down: the plan, the people, and the practice. The incident response plan defines what counts as an incident and how escalation works. Clear roles ensure decisions and communication don't stall. Regular exercises validate all of this so you're not improvising structure in the middle of chaos. This is where detect ends and respond begins. Monitoring tools generate alerts, but nothing is an incident yet. First, you detect an anomaly. Then analysts triage it, validate context, and decide whether it truly matters. That decision point should be driven by clear thresholds, playbooks, and automation. Once criteria are met, the event is formally declared an incident and ownership moves to incident response, with active containment and recovery actions. When an attack happens, CSF outcomes around detect, respond, and recover really come to life. You start by finding patient 0 and reconstructing what actually occurred using logs, memory captures, and endpoint telemetry. Next, you define the blast radius, which identities, systems, and data were touched. From there, you identify the root cause and exploited weakness, while preserving evidence with a clean chain of custody. Without this level of understanding, any mitigation is just a guess. In a major incident, you're not just fixing systems, you're managing a story. NIST CSF's respond and recover outcomes assume you have a single internal command structure that controls messaging. That one voice tailors clear, consistent updates to regulators, customers and partners, internal staff, and the media. To make this work under pressure, you need pre-approved templates and workflows. Silence or conflicting information quickly becomes its own incident, amplifying the original breach. Think of incident response at 2 levels. The playbook is strategic. It defines the high-level workflow for a scenario like ransomware or data exfiltration, and it tells people who decides what and in which order. The runbook is tactical. It's the exact button clicks and commands in each tool. Together, they drive consistent mitigation actions, moving from fast containment and isolation to full eradication and removal of the threat. The recover function is all about getting back to business after an incident, without making things worse. It answers 2 questions. How do we restore services in the right order, and how do we keep everyone informed while we do it? In CSF 2.0, recovery is planned in advance, exercised regularly, and tightly coordinated across technical teams and leadership. When you translate CSF respond and recover into real plans, 2 parameters drive everything: RPO and RTO. RPO is how much data you can afford to lose since the last good backup or replication point. RTO is how long a service can be down before impact is unacceptable. Business impact analysis ranks systems into critical, operational, and supporting tiers. That ordering dictates which outcomes you restore first. Not everything should or can come back online at once. In CSF terms, recovery is only as strong as your restoration strategy. First, design backups to be both secure and immutable, ideally offline or logically air-gapped, so ransomware can't encrypt or delete them. Next, treat backup integrity as a security control. Regularly test restores in an isolated environment and scan them for malware. Finally, Favor clean rebuilds from hardened gold images instead of trying to disinfect compromised systems in place. Recovery isn't just turning systems back on. You start with a crisis management team handling reputation, legal exposure, and high-impact decisions. Their direction drives business continuity, how operations keep serving customers even in degraded mode. Under that, IT disaster recovery focuses on restoring infrastructure and data. Disaster recovery plans, failover, secondary sites, cloud redundancy feed into this chain along with clear public communications. Together, they define true organizational resilience. The key idea is to treat every incident as data for improving your CSF outcomes. From respond and recover, capture concrete lessons learned, what failed, what worked, and how fast you detected and contained it. Then feed those insights back into identify and protect by updating playbooks, tightening controls, and patching weaknesses. You track progress with metrics like mean time to detect and mean time to respond. Over time, this loop makes each incident cheaper, faster, and less damaging. Think of the NIST CSF as a resilience chain, not a checklist. Govern sits at the center, making sure decisions, risk appetite, and priorities are clear. Identify and protect set you up to avoid predictable problems. Detect is your we saw it moment, driven by monitoring. Respond is we contained it, through incident management. Recover is we restored it, via business continuity. In a mature program, these functions reinforce each other as one continuous lifecycle. Your CSF 2.0 program isn't finished when you publish a roadmap. It's tested when something breaks. Here's your immediate homework. First, pick one incident playbook and walk it end-to-end with real stakeholders. Second, validate that critical backups are restorable within your recovery objectives. Third, document how you'll operate right of boom, so every major incident leaves you measurably more resilient than before.